Genuine care were the deadliest traps. When I got sick, he carried me out of bed at 4 a.m. and took me to the highest peak so I could heal in the first rays of moonlight. 6 years with Ezra Sylven. 6 years of him running with other females, and 6 years of me biting my tongue. That day, in his den at Alpha's Peak, I caught a scent that wasn't mine. Wild roses and desire. He wasn't even sorry I caught him. Just leaned back against the stone wall and smirked.
Be a good girl. Go run that little bitch off for me.
His betas and inner circle were already betting on how long I'd last this time.
She's tame. Give her 2 days, and she'll drop it.
He expected me to crawl back in bed. But Ezra didn't know. When noble females come of age, we send our souls out to seek our true mate, just as the old laws require. While he sat there full of himself, I found the courage to ask the suitor my family had chosen for me.
If our pups must carry the Obsidian Moon name and bloodline, can you accept that?
I showed up at Ezra's den. The guards blocked the entrance. I stepped back against the cold stone wall, a heavy scroll in my arms. The latest trade map I'd drawn for the 2 packs. It dug into my shoulder. After a long while, the stone doors finally opened. Ezra stood there half naked. Ezra leaned against the door frame, water on his chest, his golden eyes narrowing.
Why not wait until the next full moon?
I held the scroll tighter and looked up.
Sorry. The border wards acted up. It delayed me.
Ezra stepped aside to let me in. He scoffed. I slipped inside before the heavy doors shut. Then the scent hit me. I froze. Ezra's den was a massive cavern. A long, dark hallway led to the main chamber. I turned the corner. A silk dress lay torn to shreds on the fur rug and scattered everywhere. Lace lingerie that smelled of roses. I always knew Ezra was wild, never truly mine in all 6 of those years. I told myself I could live with it, as long as I didn't see it or smell it. So I avoided the traces of his intimacy with other females, trained myself to forget and move on. When I looked up, he leaned against the liquor cabinet with a glass of bourbon in hand, the hot spring splashing behind him. No panic in his eyes. Not a shred of guilt.
You're late.
He gave a lazy shrug. His voice was dead calm. I clutched the scroll tighter. If I let go, it would hit the floor with weeks of work inside it. I parted my lips to speak. The hot spring doors hissed open. A shapely she-wolf strolled out, Ezra's bathrobe hanging loosely off her shoulders. She barely reacted when she saw me, as if my presence meant nothing.
Alpha?
In a syrupy voice, she pressed herself to Ezra's chest.
About that hunting territory you promised me?
Ezra gave a slight shift, heeling her off. He took a sip of his bourbon.
Go see my beta. We're done here.
The female flashed a blinding smile.
Thank you, my alpha.
She reappeared fully dressed moments later. I watched her go. Celine, the latest favorite among the younger wolves. She reached the door. I stepped aside. Maybe she wanted to please Ezra. She paused, looked me over, and smirked over her shoulder.
Great taste, Alpha. You've chosen an utterly obedient Luna. Females of her line were highly sought after a century ago, for they consistently bore strong, powerful heirs.
Ezra didn't even glance my way. He didn't shut her down, just let out an annoyed sigh.
Get out.
She grabbed her bag and strutted out. Ezra got dressed, walked over, and took the scroll from my hands as if nothing had happened. He hooked an arm around my waist.
Hungry? What prey do you want tonight? I'll hunt it down myself.
I didn't move. He arched an eyebrow, like something had just occurred to him. He flashed a lazy smile, his fingers circling my hip.
Mad? You want me? I'll have the guards prep another hot spring on the Moonlight Terrace.
None of this was new. I'd always known. I knew he slept around. I knew he was wild. But I walked into his territory anyway. I played the fool. I was the one who gave him the power to hurt me. So I couldn't blame anyone. I didn't hate anyone. Not even Ezra. I always knew we would end one day. But I kept holding on. Just a little longer. Now the end was finally here. And to my surprise, all I felt was relief. Maybe my heart had already gone numb.
Ezra, I am breaking our mating bond.
The words hung in the air. The den went dead silent. I looked up at Ezra. He studied me as if weighing whether I was joking. Then he let out a low chuckle. He bent down.
Break the mating bond?
My reflection looked tiny in his golden eyes.
Cressida.
He clicked his tongue, as if thinking.
How old were you when you first saw me? 16? 17? I forget. Back then, obedience was the only thing you had going for you. You cowered behind your brother Dorian like a scared little rabbit. I asked if you wanted to come with me.
He straightened up as he
blushed.
adjusted his cuffs.
You nodded. You didn't even hesitate. I also told you I'm a born conqueror. I don't force females to stay. And they can't force me to belong to just one.
He let out a sigh. He looked at me with a trace of pity.
What did you say back then? You said you were willing, and now you're threatening to break the bond.
He brushed a tear from my cheek. He tilted his head.
Isn't that a bit unfair to me? All right. Enough crying. You've handled this just fine all these years. Today was my mistake. Next time, I won't get caught.
He dug his fingers into my shoulders and turned me toward the massive obsidian mirror.
You know how old she was? Only 20. You're 26. Quit resorting to petty ploys to hold on to me. Focus on unlocking your moon goddess powers instead. After all, our bloodlines are the best match. Those other girls are just passing flings. They don't matter.
He had always been this awful, but his alpha aura and beautiful face hit it so well that even words like these could sound like love. All the fight drained out of me. I felt like a puppet on invisible strings, with Ezra holding the ends. I slipped out of his grip. My voice was dead calm.
Ezra, we're done.
He gave a lazy smile.
Fine. Break it.
He glanced at the heavy iron clock on the wall and crushed his mouth against mine.
Be a good girl. Wash that foreign scent off. I've got an Alpha Council meeting. I'll have the new moonstones and imported silks delivered to your room. I'll make it up to you tonight.
Maybe we had said break the bond too many times. They had lost all weight. In the beginning, Ezra used it first. He weaponized those words long before I did.
Cressida, if you can't handle this, the door is right there. You know I hate seeing you miserable.
I used to be easy to soothe. A smile and a few soft words were enough, but not this time. I made a vow to myself. No caving in. No backing down. Besides, breaking an unblessed mating bond didn't require his consent. Emotional wounds cut fast and deep. A brutal fever hit me after I left Ezra's den. My wolf's energy was falling out of balance. I sank into a fever dream. I saw my 16-year-old self. The girl Ezra had already erased from his mind. Ezra Sylven, a born alpha. He didn't need an elite bloodline. His power and charm alone were enough to make females flock to him. And to top it all, he was the undisputed leader of the Apex Pack. He had a type. Wild and stunning. He slept with everyone, foreign envoys to his own frontline warriors. No one thought he'd ever look twice at a good girl like me. I had nothing to offer but obedience. But he had already had every kind of female he wanted. At the height of his power, he was bored. Shadows stretched across the border valley the first time I saw him. He was flirting with Celine, the undisputed beauty of the packs. Celine wanted to become a movie star. Ezra pulled the strings to make it happen. As Celine clung to him and begged for his attention, I happened to glance up. Ezra's face was unreadable. He looked bored. Thick smoke curled from the cigar between his knuckles. Then he jerked his chin in my direction.
Who is that?
Celine stiffened. She stepped into his line of sight.
Her? Just the little good girl from the Obsidian Moon Pack? She doesn't run with our kind.
I ducked my head. I hurried past them. Ezra just flashed a lazy smirk. He didn't say a word. Growing up, I was the easiest child to raise. I was raised solely by my mother. Her love lay buried beneath endless stifling rules, curfews by midnight, hair no longer than my shoulders, skirts down to the ankles. Under her suffocating care, I grew into exactly what she wanted, obedient in every way, rigid, docile. I followed every single pack law to the letter. I thought I'd lived my entire life strictly by the book. Until Ezra reached out to me. That hand was temptation itself. And like a fool, I took it. Celine found out later. She stared at me in pure shock.
Ezra doesn't run with our kind. Don't let him drag you under.
I swore I wouldn't, but that yearning curdled into venom, coiling tight around my soul like silken silver threads. I'd imagined I could toy with Ezra's poison, weather the pain, and return to my safe, ordained path unscathed. But he wasn't a complete monster. That was the problem. Those rare flashes of genuine care were the deadliest traps. When I got sick, he carried me out of bed at 4 a.m. and took me to the highest peak so I could heal in the first rays of moonlight. I was away on a pack mission once. I casually whined over the phone that I couldn't sleep in a bed without his scent. He was thousands of miles away, handling human business abroad, but barely 2 hours on, his private jet was parked on my hotel roof. His man passed me his old jacket, redolent of cedar and sharp with storm winds. I knew it wasn't love. A wolf like Ezra didn't know how to love. So I let myself drown, and I kept forgiving him. A few nights ago, we'd been intimate, and my mind was still...
An heir. With our combined bloodlines, nobody would dare.
He almost looked like he wanted a future with me, but I went cold in an instant. How could I possibly carry his pup? Our bond was too fragile. What would a child even be? A bargaining chip? Or a permanent chain around my neck? I slipped away. I swallowed the pregnancy-suppressant herbs. I jolted awake. Dead silence. Ezra never came. My phone buzzed. It was my brother Dorian.
I can't even sleep. I'm too worried about you.
Father chose Lucian for you. He's the Stormfang Pack heir. Strong, loyal, a perfect bloodline match. You're of age.
Initiate the bloodline courtship ritual.
Meet him through astral projection. It's what's best for the family.
I exhaled. I cut him off.
I'll meet him.
It's just an astral projection to get acquainted. Once you...
He froze.
What did you just say?
I repeated myself.
I said, I'll meet him.
He froze.
What did you just say?
I repeated myself.
I said, I'll meet him.
I needed an opening. A catalyst to leave Ezra for good. Word of my astral projection meeting with Lucian reached Ezra fast. He didn't call me himself.
Throwing a fit is one thing, but actually meeting another male?
You could never let him go. Don't come crying to us later to get the alpha on the phone.
I hung up.
Happening.
The elder's face had gone pale.
Impossible.
For the first time all night, Kale looked up.
The moment Prince Darius returns, the scroll will complete the claiming ceremony.
Kale's expression changed. He had just given away something he would never get back. The next morning, the palace servants arrived. Not to help me move, to remove me.
Careful with those. Anything that belonged to the former mate goes.
Isla, wearing Kale's royal robes, issued an eviction order against me. Former mate. The word spread through the courtyard. Like a disease. Servants avoided my eyes.